My name is Emily, and I'm 25 years old. I'm a single mom to a beautiful 2-year-old boy named Lucas, and until recently, I thought I was building a future with the man I loved. But what happened one night shattered everything I thought I knew about trust, love, and safety. This is my story, and it's not an easy one to tell. It's raw, it's real, and it's still unfolding. Stick with me because I need you to hear this. Before we dive in, I want to ask you to do something for me. If this story resonates with you, please hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to my channel for more real stories like this. And here's a fun one. Drop a comment below and let me know where you're listening from. Are you in New York, California? Maybe halfway across the world, I'd love to know. Your support means everything, and it helps me keep sharing these truths. Let's start at the beginning. 2 years ago, I gave birth to Lucas, my world, my everything. His father and I didn't work out, but I was determined to give my son the best life possible. After Lucas was born, the hospital asked me about birth control. I said yes, absolutely. I wasn't ready for another child just yet, so they inserted an Explant implant in my upper arm. It's a small device barely noticeable unless you're feeling for it, and it prevents pregnancy for 3 years. It gave me peace of mind knowing I could focus on raising Lucas and building a stable life. Fast forward to a few months ago, I got engaged to Michael, a 27-year-old man I thought was my soulmate. He was kind, gentle, and seemed to adore Lucas. We'd laugh together, plan our future, and I genuinely believed he saw Lucas as his own. But then everything changed. Michael started talking about wanting a baby. Not just any baby, a biological child of his own. At first I was open to it. I loved the idea of expanding our family, but I wasn't ready yet. I told him I wanted to wait until the implant's 3 years were up. 8 more months, that's all. I needed us to be more financially stable, especially since I was already raising Lucas. I thought he'd understand. But Michael didn't. He got upset saying 8 months was too long. He wanted me pregnant now. I stood my ground. I said I wasn't ready, that Lucas needed me, that we already had a child to care for. That's when things took a dark turn. One night we got into a heated argument. Michael's voice grew louder, his words sharper. He shouted that he wanted a baby that was biologically his. He said every time he looked at Lucas, he saw my ex, and it made him angry. I was stunned. Lucas looks a lot like his father, sure, but Michael had never hinted at resentment before. I asked him why he felt this way, my heart pounding. He admitted he didn't feel like a father to Lucas. He said he had no attachment to him because Lucas wasn't his blood. He resented us both for it. My stomach twisted. This was the man I loved, the man I thought loved us. I brought up how Lucas saw him as a father figure, hoping to reach him, but he just kept pushing for me to get the implant out immediately. I refused. I wasn't ready for another child, not like this. We argued until I was exhausted, my voice hoarse, my heart heavy. Finally, I said I was done. I couldn't keep fighting. I walked into our bedroom, took my sleeping medication trazodone, a strong dose that knocks me out cold, and went to bed. Michael stayed in the living room, or so I thought. Here's where it gets hard to talk about. I need you to hear this part because it's the moment everything I believed in crumbled. My medication makes me sleep deeply, like I'm under a spell. That night, as I lay in bed, I stirred slightly, feeling fingers on my upper arm. My eyes were still closed, and I mumbled for Michael to stop poking me. I thought he was being petty, maybe still mad from our fight. But he didn't stop. Seconds later, I felt him press down hard on the exact spot where my implant is. It's noticeable if you know where to look, Michael did, because he'd felt it before. I started to wake up annoyed, just wanting to sleep. But when I opened my eyes, my blood ran cold. Michael was standing over me, his finger pressing on my implant. In his other hand, inches from my arm, was a box cutter. My heart raced. I asked him what he was doing. My voice shaking. He looked guilty, like a kid caught stealing. He stammered, throwing out excuses. He said he was just trying to scare me. Then he said he was checking if I was alive and the box cutter was a coincidence. I didn't buy it. I demanded the truth. He looked down, then admitted it. He said he was doing me a favor. A favor? He was going to cut the implant out of my arm. He claimed he'd studied how to do it, that he was confident he could remove it safely. He said we could start our family now, no need to wait 8 months. I was livid, terrified, betrayed. I screamed at him to get away from me, to not touch me. He tried to explain, but I kept yelling. I told him he needed to leave, that he couldn't stay in our house after this. He broke my trust in the worst way. Finally, he walked out of this bedroom. A minute later, I heard the front door open and close. He was gone. For 3 hours, I sat in the dark, my mind racing. I didn't know what to do. I loved Michael deeply, but this was unforgivable. How could I ever trust him again? I called my mom sobbing, and she told me to pack a bag and bring Lucas to her house. So I did. I grabbed my son, left that house, and haven't looked back. But the fear lingered. What if he came back? What if he tried something else? I was confused, hurt, scared. I kept replaying the night in my head, wondering how the man who'd been so gentle, so kind, could do something so awful. The next morning, my phone buzzed nonstop. Texts, calls, voicemails, all from Michael. He asked where I was when I was coming home, acting like nothing had happened. I didn't respond. I couldn't even look at his name on my screen. He called my mom while we were sitting in her kitchen talking through everything. She asked if I wanted her to answer. I shook my head. I wasn't ready to face him. She answered anyway, and Michael was frantic, yelling that I'd left with Lucas out of the blue, that he was worried. He didn't mention our fight, the box cut, or any of it. My mom lied, saying she hadn't heard from me since the night before. He sighed, angry, and said he'd keep searching for me, that he was worried something bad would happen to me or Lucas. When my mom hung up, she pulled me into a hug. I hadn't even realized I was crying. That day, my mom asked how I wanted to proceed. Was I done with him for good? I nodded, tears streaming down my face. I was. She suggested we go to the police like so many of you advised in my original post. At the station, I told them everything. The officer listened, but since Michael hadn't physically hurt me, there wasn't much they could do. It was my word against his. But they suggested filing for ex parte restraining orders for me and Lucas. I went to the courthouse, filled out the paperwork detailing every word, every action from that night. My mom helped me remember it all. We turned it in, and later that day the county clerk called. The judge granted the orders. I needed to pick up the paperwork, which included a court date. Michael would be served soon, and I wouldn't have to see him until court, when we'd make the orders permanent. The clerk suggested lawyering up, but I was too drained to think about it that day. Next, we tackled logistics. I'd been living in that house for 2 years. The first year was a lease, but now it was month to month, all in my name. Most of the furniture was mine. I called my landlord, explained briefly what happened, and gave my 30-day notice. Then I called the utilities, water, electric, gas, internet, and closed the accounts. My mom asked what I wanted to do about my belongings. I didn't want to leave anything behind. Clothes, furniture, Lucas's toys, important papers, but where would it go? She suggested a storage unit. We decided to move everything that week with help from my 2 brothers. My eldest brother suggested a police presence, a civil standby, just in case Michael showed up. I agreed. It felt surreal planning to erase my life from that house, but it was necessary. By the end of the day, I was exhausted. I just wanted to curl up with Lucas and try to make sense of it all. That night I did. I held him close, his little body warm against mine, and tried to calm the storm in my head. I kept asking myself why I didn't leave sooner. When Michael said those awful things about Lucas, why didn't I pack a bag right? Then part of me thought he didn't mean it. He'd told Lucas he loved him before. I thought he was just angry that he'd apologize in the morning. I was naive. I didn't think he'd come at me with a box cutter. I also wondered why I even considered talking it out with him. Part of me felt like it was my fault, like I was too stubborn, too mean during our fight. But deep down, I knew that wasn't true. No one deserves what he did. The next few days were a whirlwind. My family stepped up in ways I'll never forget. My mom made a list of everything we needed to do, and we followed it to the letter. She kept me focused, reminding me what could happen if I paused. Michael could find me, hurt. Me hurt Lucas. My brothers planned a round-robin strategy. If Michael found me at Mom's, I'd go to my eldest brother's. If he found me there, I'd stay with my younger brother. It was comforting knowing they had my back. I also reached out to Michael's parents, sending them a message saying I'd ended the engagement and left. I didn't mention the box cutter, but I wondered if I should. Some of you suggested he might have a brain tumor or a psychotic break. I don't want him in my life, but I worry about his health. His parents haven't responded, and I don't know how to approach it. Will they be angry if I suggest something's wrong? Will they even take him to get help? Then came the moment Michael was served the restraining order papers. He didn't take it well. I'd blocked him on everything, but he posted a picture of the papers on Facebook along with a message to me and Lucas. It included my personal information. A mutual friend saw it, screenshot it, and sent it to me. I called the police asking if it violated the ex parte. They made an incident report and told me to pick it up the next day. They didn't arrest him, which frustrated me. But my mom had already found me a lawyer, a shark in her words. I told him about the screenshot, and he immediately filed a motion for contempt of court saying Michael broke the ex parte by threatening us. The judge got us in early to address it. Michael showed up without a lawyer. I had mine, who stayed by my side the entire time, keeping himself between me and Michael. A bailiff was there too, which helped me feel safe. My lawyer did all the talking, and I only answered questions when asked, keeping my responses short like he advised. The judge warned Michael if he mentioned me or Lucas again, he'd be jailed for 24 hours per incident until our official court date. He was also ordered to pay my legal fees for the emergency session. That Friday, we moved my belongings out of the house. Friends and family helped, and we had a police officer there just in case. We knew Michael was at work, and we left an hour after his shift started. Anything he could claim as his or that we bought together, I left behind. Most of my stuff went into storage units gated locked at night for safety. The essentials like Lucas's toys and our clothes went to my mom's. It was exhausting, but it felt like a weight lifted. I was free from that house from him. Our official court date is next week. My lawyer says it'll be like the first hearing, a general session with others filing ex partes, no extra people allowed, masks required. He's confident the restraining orders will become permanent, lasting 1 year, unless I mark a box to reissue them annually. Michael can appeal each year, which means we might have to go to court again. For now, I'm just trying to stay strong. I'm scared, though. People have messaged me saying they've seen my story on social media. Some of you have even figured out what state I'm in. I'm terrified Michael will find these posts and put it all together. I'm sorry I haven't responded to every comment or message. I'm just trying to keep Lucas's life normal. It breaks my heart when he asks when we're going home or where Papa is. He thinks we're on a long sleepover with his Mimi, my mom. He loves her dog and cats since we couldn't have pets at our old house. I have warned his daycare about Michael, and most of my family and friends know there's a serious situation, though not all the details. I'm exhausted. I keep looking over my shoulder. My mom bought extra locks for her doors, and she's pricing out cameras, maybe Ring, since my aunt's been pushing her to get one. This whole thing still feels surreal, like a bad dream. But I'm moving forward thanks to my family and all of you. Your advice, your support, your kind words, they've kept me going. I've been leaning on my mom a lot. She's been an angel, never judging, always listening. I showed her some of your comments, praising her, and she smiled. But she deserves so much more. My family's organization, their love, their protection, it's extraordinary. I didn't realize how much support I had until now. I want to address one last thing. Some of you questioned why I turned to Reddit so quickly, why I didn't just know what to do. You're right, it's unusual. But for me, writing helps. I grew up with a live journal, pouring my thoughts into words to make sense of them. I figured this community would understand, and you did. Your advice gave me clarity, strength, and reassurance that leaving was the right choice. I'm still processing, still scared. But I'm not alone. And for that, I'm endlessly grateful. So here's my ask one more time if this story moved you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment below, tell me where you're listening from, or share your own story. Your support helps me keep going, and it might reach someone else who needs to hear this. Thank you for being here, for listening, for caring. I'm Emily, this is my story. And I'm just trying to keep swimming like my son's favorite movie, Finding Nemo.